I'm Jane Zisk, and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this introductory video, I'd like to give you an idea of what it would be like to have a reading with me. You know, every intuitive, every tarot reader, every healer works a little bit differently. So I'd like you to understand how I work. I do most of my work via Zoom because that way I can help clients all around the globe. So prior to logging on to the Zoom meeting with you, I will say some prayers and I'll invite the angels in and I'll ask that they open my heart and clear the channels so that I can clearly understand their messages for you and so that I can also clearly communicate that information to you in a way that's most helpful. Before you log on to the meeting, I ask that you have an idea of what it is you'd like guidance on, be it a relationship, be it career, almost anything in your life that's really causing you some difficulty or maybe confusion or maybe a decision that you're trying to make. Then when we get together, we have a conversation, you and I. What is it you want to understand? What kind of guidance are you looking for? And then as I pull cards, it's a conversation between you and the angels because I'm really just channeling their messages and their guidance to you. So the way we would start is talk about what you want to know about. And then I'll I'll shuffle and pull some tarot cards. Angel Wisdom Tarot is by Radley Valentine is my very favorite deck. So most often I'm using this one. I have others, but this is what I use most often. And what I would do is shuffle the cards, and we'll ask an open-ended question. Not a yes, no. Why? Well, because if we ask a yes or no question and you get yes or you get no, that's kind of the end of the conversation, right? But if we ask something more open-ended, like, what do you need to know about your next steps towards relocation? That gives the angels more room and more openness to give you better guidance and more guidance. So we pull cards. Typically, I pull three because that helps me tell the story. I come from a family of storytellers. So what I want to do is lay out the cards that tell the story of the guidance that the angels are trying to give to you. Then what I would do is read the cards to you. Now let me get a card just for an example. So let's see this card. Okay, this is the Nine of Earth. Now you see there's a beautiful picture. There are some words down here. There are numbers. Well, in the reading, I might be called to something in the pictures, maybe the garden in the back. And so I'll talk about that. I might be called to some of the words on the bottom, but not always. And even if there's a bunch of words here, there just might be one phrase or something that means something in your reading. Every reading is different. I might talk about the numbers and what that means in angel numbers or numerology. I might talk about the suit, where the suit of earth is all about material and financial concerns. So this would probably come up in a reading about career, but you never know. There are a bunch of cards, and I never know which ones will come up and what will get my attention. But I use cards because they help focus me. They give me a starting point of how to come in to then give you the rest of the information that the angels want you to know. So the cards start me off. We start talking. I start getting a hit. Now, what happens a lot, so don't be surprised, is I end up closing my eyes, right? I'll show you a card and I'll start talking and I'll close my eyes and I'll sit and talk to you like this. Why? Because that helps me really focus in on what the messages are. Rather than looking at the camera or worry about looking at you or looking at the, across the room, I can really just kind of quiet everything down and hear the messages clearly and completely. So don't be surprised if I do that. Everything in the reading is important, whether it's the flowers behind me on the wall, or the color of the shirt you're wearing, or if your dog barks and jumps up and licks your face. Everything is important in the reading. So I may mention it, I may not. It depends on what we're talking about. And then what I'll do is when we get to the end of our session, I may pull a final card from a different deck, maybe from Guardian Angel Tarot Messages by Radley Valentine, maybe from a sort of light oracle deck that Radley wrote. But I'll give you one last card, one last bit of advice before we go. So what I'd like you to know is that you are free, and I please do hope you will sign up for readings with me on my website. That's janezysk.com. That's spelled JaneZysk, all one word, .com. And on my website, if you scroll down a little bit, you'll find that you can book a session. And I offer 15-minute readings for $20. I offer a half-hour reading for $40. And I offer a 1-hour session for $70. Now, in the 15-minute session, that's not a lot of time. So I'll pull 3 cards and we'll go through those, rather quickly. There may be time for a question, but then we're done. That's for folks who really either just want a quick catch up or maybe have never had a reading before, not really sure you're going to like it, don't want to spend a whole lot of money, $20 you can part with, it'll be okay, and see how it goes. The 30-minute reading, of course, is a little longer, right? So I can pull cards for one question, maybe dive a little deeper into that question, or answer a second one. The 1-hour reading is really when we're going to get in depth on a whole bunch of different things, whether we go really in depth on one topic or we cover that, maybe we cover career, maybe have a quick question about it, and then we go more into relationships or something. Now, don't worry if you don't have a question, because I know a lot of times, even when I get readings, the reader will say, what is it you'd like to know today? I'm kind of like a deer in the headlights, right? I don't know. It is perfectly fine to say, I just want a general reading. Just tell me what the angels would like me to know. And that's perfectly fine. And we might find that you have questions after you get some of that information. Maybe that sparks an idea like, oh yeah, I've been wondering about this. So that's really it. That's what a reading is. Simple, easy, but most of all, helpful because you're getting divine guidance. So I do hope you'll go to my website, that's janezysk.com, and book a reading. Thanks so much.